I'm Keturah Stickann. I'm the director and choreographer for the double bill of Pagliacci and the Seven Deadly Sins here at Virginia Opera. The last show that I was here for was La Traviata. It was last season. It was with Lillian Groag directing. Lillian and I have a long relationship. We've done a lot of work together. So it was great to come back and actually make a little dance for her. I was here only briefly, which was too bad because I love being in Norfolk. This is actually, Traviata being the first, this is actually only the second time that I won't take the tour with Virginia Opera. It's actually something that I always looked forward to as an assistant director. There's something great about what happens to a company and how close a company gets when it actually gets on the road together. Not something that happens very often in opera, and so it was always nice to have those experiences in Fairfax and Richmond with each other. I've worked with a few members of this cast. Clay Hilly and I actually have a background. He was a young artist at Central City when I was a young assistant director at Central City, and so we've been with each other for a few years. We've known each other. Adam Turner actually and I have very long experience together. We met as assistant conductor, assistant director at Florida Grand Opera 10 years ago. Same season. This is the 16-17 season. We met in the 06-07 season. So the chance to come back and actually be at the helm together for this show is so exciting to me. Everyone you're seeing on stage is an artist. They're all performing artists. And so in Pagliacci especially, it's very clear that Canio plays Pagliaccio when he plays his character on stage that's on stage. Tonio plays Taddeo, Beppe plays Arlecchino, and Nedda plays Colombina. So they are all classic commedia characters that we will see them transform. So essentially when we see the play happen, that the whole chorus comes in and watches as the audience, we are seeing 4 singers playing different characters. It's a feat, and it's hard enough to put on one mask, but then to put on a mask over the top of that mask is doubly difficult. So it's really sort of a wonderful thing to watch them do it. Kelly Caduce and Clay Hilly and Michael Chioldi all have cameos in Seven Deadly Sins, and Gabrielle Zucker, our dancer, has a cameo in Pagliacci. So I think it's very difficult actually to speak about both shows separately, because for me and the way that we have designed the whole thing, they really actually fit together. What you'll see is both sides of the same coin. The more that I worked on both of these shows, the more that I realized that we are telling the same story, we're just doing it in a very different way. Leoncavallo's vision for how he talked about the desperation of itinerant artists and dealing with just being trapped in your own circumstance is a very different way of talking about the desperation of itinerant artists and being trapped in your own circumstances that Brecht and Weill did with Seven Deadly Sins. But essentially the themes are the same. And so it actually, the more I started thinking about it, it actually made perfect sense that we were playing them in the same space, because I think we're getting at the same notion just from 2 different avenues. There are so many different reasons that we get lost in art. So much of it is to be entertained, and that is definitely part of what the Sins PAG experience is. But I think that often we go see pieces, we go see shows, we go see movies, we see television, we see all of these things because it allows us to experience a side of ourselves that we actually don't deal with in polite society and in our lives. And there's always that little dark part of our brain that likes to get switched on in an entertainment fashion. This piece will give all of that to you. I've been blessed with an incredible cast on all fronts, right? Everybody that I've been working with in Sins, everybody that I've been working with in Pagliacci, I'm just consistently impressed with them across the board. So that's reason number 1 to come see it, is just the people that are on stage are you can't take your eyes off of them. That's just, they sound fantastic, they look fantastic, they all move, they all dance, they all ham it up for you, and it's a real treat. It's such a treat to actually sit in the room and just watch them go. So I think that alone is a reason to come. There's something wonderful about being able to watch people dive into the darker portions of themselves on stage. and being able to live that with them from the audience. And Seven Deadly Sins, it's in the title, it's there, right? And then Pagliacci just continues that and takes us all the way through until it knocks us to our knees. And I think that's why you come see these shows, is because it's a roller coaster. It's a wild ride. It's like going to a fun house. You'll come out on the other side changed.